Welcome to a Great Car Basic demonstration of the graphics LCD called the ILI9340. So the 9340 is a new device driver, very low cost. I got this one off of eBay. It was a few dollars, £3.59 UK pounds, which is relatively cheap for a very high quality device, which is 240 by 320 pixels. Comes with SD card on the back, which is a separate driver, but I've written the driver so it supports hardware SPI and software SPI, so you can actually change the pinouts, etc. It does all the normal text, bitmaps, pixels, rectangles, circles, etc. And we've got some other features which I'll show you, and you can quite easily adapt this to fit any other microcontroller. This is a screenshot of a display which we'll have a look at in a moment. But essentially a 4-wire SPI connection is required to operate the display. Let's have a look at it. This is actually operating on my desktop on my bench here now. You can see that we've got blue colours, we've got a rectangle around the outside, a yellow box, and that is around the outside. It's just a visual thing with my camera. I can see it on the screen here that it's actually got a yellow box around it, but just my camera is not showing the full yellow box. Little box in here. This is my test program to show that we're getting full scale pixelation. You can see we've got different font sizes, small font, a larger font, a very large font, and a completely different font. They're all now built into the graphics driver. Filled squares, lines, circles, angles, etc. And clearly we've got different fonts. So what we'll do is we're going to cut some code just to see how it all works. I've got the example code here. This is up in the demonstration code already, up on SourceForge. But what we're going to do is take a quick copy of this just to show you what you can do. So I'm just going to take a copy of that and explain what we've got. I've got a Chipino, which is actually a Microchip 1938, and I've loaded in the GLC driver, which I need to put in here. I'm just specifying that my type is an ILI9340, which tells me the type of graphics driver I'm going to be using. And when I need to specify my pinouts, I need these 6 pins, but it's actually driven by 4 of them. I've got a data line, chip select line, the reset line, but I've got data in and data out, and a clock. And then I can tell it if I want hardware or software. It defaults to hardware, so I've put in here that if you comment this out, it will go to software. So it's going to use the hardware, and if we just compile that up, we will take a few seconds just to do that, and then we'll adapt it. It's going to load that into the processor, and we'll see what it's going to do. So I'm just going to, on another screen here, is just load that code in. There we go, and now after this it will do it automatically. There we go, and that's just I'm about to load that in, and all it's going to do is just clear the screen, and we're going to get a black screen, because all I've done is loaded the driver. So that's all I've got. So let's put some text on that. Let's say hello. Let's say it's Great Car Basic. We'll just compile it up. What it's going to do, it's actually going to compile it up, and we can see it's at a right angle. It's at Great Car Basic because that's the default position of that screen. So we've got our standard drawstring. So let me just change that around a little bit. Let's take that out of there, and what we're going to do is put a different command in, and what we're going to do is rotate the screen. We have a GLCD rotate, and I'm going to change it to blue, and I'm going to print the same text on that screen. Let me just make a hex on that and load that into the processor. Let's just look at the preview. Let's just load in that. There we go. So what we've just done is rotate the screen, done a clear screen with blue, which is the colour for this type of device, and then put Great Car Basic on it. So let me just show you some other things that you can do. And I'll bring them across from an editor I've got open on the other screen. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to print out Great Car Basic in a different font size. Font size 1, which is small. There's a font size 2, a font size 3. And I'm going to return back to font size 2 and put it on, put the year on here. Now you can pass it a parameter of different colours. So I'll put that one as red, and I'll put this one as green. There we go, green. and then down here we've got another font size which is called big print, and will actually print a specific print of style of font on that display. So let's just compile that up and see what results we get, and then we'll walk back through it. So let's have a look. It's just like programming the microchip. That's the clear screen blue, and what we can see, we have different fonts. We have a small one in red, a large one in green, very large in white. Now there's two parameters called background color and foreground color, and they are the defaults for the colors. You can just set those, and then so you can see you've got this another font now available. So you've got very small print, larger, and you just simply tell it the default font size, and it will handle the font sizing for you. So if we want to draw a circle, just I'm doing this freehand. We'll draw a circle. We'll draw a circle by taking it from the other, because I can't remember the command. This is the actual demonstration code over here, and I'm going to actually put a circle from on this display here. Just my lack of syntax. So we've got I'm going to draw a circle. It's going to have a width of it's going to be in the middle of the screen, because I'm going to take a variable that's called the width. I'm going to divide it by 2. I'm going to take the height and divide it by 2, and I'm going to make a circle 50 pixels diameter. I'm going to make it silver, and we should get a circle on the screen. So all these standard commands work from the previous GLCD drivers. There we are. It's just about to program it now, and we should see a circle, a silver circle in the middle of the screen. You can set the default. You can set the default background color to any colors you like, and we've clearly got a circle here. And if I wanted to fill that circle, I would simply change that to filled circle, and then recompile, and that will then recompile that with a circle, fixed circle, filled circle. And we'll have a look at what that's doing. It's just loading that code up. And there we have a circle. So let's have a look at the code, that was the demonstration code that's been provided. So in here I've laid out the code, and it's essentially the same header. I've given you all the colors that you can choose, the rotate commands, and then I've given you just showing how you can flip the display and use colors in the terms of foreground, which we just had a look at. I'll give it some long numbers and put long numbers and print different numbers and text on the screen. And then I've given you three cases of different font sizes, but depending on which font size you select, it will rotate the screen and show you different fonts. So if I load that into the code into the microprocessor, I've actually got this compiled up. So it's just loading that, and we look at the preview, loading it in. It's just powered down. It's just done a reset. So the first one is print some strings, clear the screen down, print some numbers. Hard to see, I realise that, but this is an example. These are bytes, words, and long numbers to test that. And now we're back where we were before. And if we rotate this, if we actually change the parameter default size to 1, it will actually flip the screen and give us a very similar screen in the other axes in terms of portrait, because we're looking at landscape. So what I wanted to show you was a quick demonstration of the ILI9340 driver, and I think we'll call that a wrap.